All right, guys, this is Mike Garrett. We got another podcast. We got a special guest today. I've got Jared with me. I'll let him introduce himself here in a second, but I just want to give you guys some of his weightlifting background real quick. 11 times American record holder, 4-time Master National Champion. He is a World's Masters Champion, and he's got 3 Pan Am records. I'd like to introduce Jared real quick. If you could please just tell us about yourself, a quick bio on yourself, man.
All right, I'm a master athlete, obviously. My name is Jared Coon. I grew up Westerly, Rhode Island, live in Pawcatuck, Connecticut, so just on the border. Came from mostly a wrestling background in high school. Coached after high school in my high school team. I was the head coach for a while. And that's kind of what got me into weightlifting, that competitive type of atmosphere.
Yeah.
When I turned 30, I was competing or training to compete for a national competition again. I ended up ripping out my shoulder, and that ended my wrestling career. Can't put my hand behind my back anymore. Had surgery and had it repaired, and that kind of brought me to weightlifting. I needed something to compete at, Once the shoulder kind of healed up enough to where I could start picking up a bar, that's when I got kind of into CrossFit, and then that just evolved into weightlifting.
Awesome, man. That's incredible. I know just a little bit about your background. You're a 95-pound wrestler, right?
Yeah. I was a small kid.
Awesome, man. And you're a CrossFit gym owner, right?
I am. I own Westerly CrossFit, and Westerly Barbell runs out of that.
Cool. And how long have you guys been operating?
It'll be our 10-year anniversary in January.
Congratulations, man. I always say getting to 10 years in any business is incredible, man. So congratulations on that. That's big time.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely big time. And so, if you were to put a date on it, when do you think, I kind of had a similar thing. I weightlifted, growing up, teenager, stuff like that. I learned from Kane Wilkes, his father, Chris Wilkes, Glenn Penlay, Don McCauley. Those are the guys I was training with at Muscle Driver, and went off to college and played athletics and dabbled with the Marine Corps, all that good jazz. But had that upbringing, so it's kind of been with me. And I did the CrossFit, still do CrossFit, still do Olympic weightlifting. I kind of blend it in and out of seasons. I train CrossFitters every day, and then I've got some that come to my gym just for Olympic weightlifting. So my gym, I think we have that in common, is that we have, I've got a 75% of my gym is CrossFit, and then I got a 25% of it's an Olympic weightlifting hall, and it's 14 platforms, and that's how we kind of do it. I think yours is very similar, right?
Yeah, we're about the same. We're 75-25. We do some boot camp and stuff, but the Barbell Club, pretty similar to you, 11 platforms. We get the best gear we can get, and just try to separate ourselves with the programming, and it's a great atmosphere. We have a lot of lifters that come and train with us from other gyms and stuff, so it's a lot of fun.
Love it, man. Love it. So for work in your career, you're a full-time gym owner, and then you find time in between coaching, teaching classes, and then taking care of yourself?
Yeah, so it started off when I started weightlifting. We weren't a barbell club. We were just CrossFit.
Cool.
And I lifted, I did my CrossFit, and I lifted probably once a week for a while. And that was all I had time for at that point, and between the CrossFit and the coaching and everything else. And one of my coaches at the time, Ryan Whittemore, was like, hey, man, you could be pretty good at this if you kind of concentrate on it. So what I did was I started going in by myself from like 1 to 4 every day and just kind of grinding it out. And I went into like a 5-6 day a week training. Yeah. And then a little bit at a time, the Barbell Club started because people were like, hey, what do you do? Like, why are you in the gym by yourself all day,
Yeah.
Like, well, I do Olympic weightlifting. And they were like, just like one at a time, hey, can I train with you? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not? I'm not doing anything else. So cool. Gym's open if you want to come in. We just left the door unlocked, and then it kind of evolved from there.
Awesome, man. That's an incredible story right there. So that's pretty freaking neat. How many times a week do you think you train? Like, just to say 6 weeks out from nationals, how many sessions are you doing a week?
I'm 5 days a week.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so I try to get in between 2 and 3 hours. I'm pretty slow. I'll do probably 3 to 4 exercises in that time.
Okay.
Half hour snatch, half hour cleans, and then squats and pulls kind of thing.
Perfect.
5 days a week.
Awesome. What days you rest on?
Mondays and Saturdays.
Okay. Cool. And then, I want to ask you about the difference between, when you were training at, 28 compared to when you were training at 35 and 40. What's been the biggest difference between you being 28, 35, and 40?
Yeah, so when I was in my 20s, well, like I said, I was a super tiny kid, and I started lifting weights at 13 because I was sick of being the smallest kid in school.
Yeah.
And then, so I trained like a bodybuilder, power lifter, hypertrophy style stuff.
Yeah.
Through my 20s, and then, like I said, I got into the CrossFit and stuff. In my 20s, you just heal super fast. Nothing bothers you.
Absolutely.
You just grind it out, and the next day you're ready to go. When I hit 35, CrossFit always crushed me.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed it, but I was terrible at it. So the weightlifting kind of just gelled with what I used to do, the squats and the pulls and all that stuff. At 35, it was definitely an adjustment. I never squatted so much that many times a week, between squats and all your full cleans and snatches. So it definitely took some time to get my legs in shape and to get used to the constant heavy squats. And then once I adapted, it wasn't terrible. I actually feel better from 35 to 39 than I did in my late 20s as far as volume. 40, everybody jokes, when you turn 40, it goes downhill, and I'll tell you what, man, it hurts.
Yeah.
40 is a little bit different than 35, but, you can still do it. It's not, you just have to be smart about it. There are certain days I'll go in, and I'll be warming up, and I'm like, I don't think today's my day, and I'll try it, and then that Saturday, instead of being a rest day, maybe I'll move my squats to Saturday or something like that. I'll just be too beat up to finish a workout. Yeah. So my rest days sometimes will become, I'll do half a session on Friday, and then instead of taking Saturday off, I'll throw a half a session in there. So
Gotcha.
It's programmed 5 days. Sometimes it turns into 6 because I'm just, I'm too beat up from the day before or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a change, but it's well worth it.
Yeah, I can definitely relate and speak on that. I think, my peak in Olympic weightlifting was 27, 28. And then, like each year losing 1 or 2 kilos. But, it's one of those things, I got into it so early. Right. And right. I think, looking at my career and your career, I think it's kind of flip-flopped. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty neat to see you excelling at 40. What are your best PRs at 40 years old?
So I've snatched 145, and I clean and jerked 178.
Wow.
I've cleaned 182. I've jerked 200. So I'm definitely stronger now. I'm bigger too. I went up a weight class. So when I got into weightlifting, I was trying to bulk up to be a 94.
Gotcha.
And then I was cutting to be a 96, and then all of a sudden I'm cutting to be 102. So
yeah.
As you get older, the weight just naturally comes on anyway. So
yeah,
it came on, and I tried to keep up with it strength-wise.
I don't know if there's too many 40-year-olds on Earth that can clean and jerk 182 or jerk 200. That is insane, Jared. That is, I
was super pumped about it.
Yeah, man, 200 kilos. That's kind of, everyone chases after that, and I think anyone, 85, 89 class up chases after a 200 jerk, man, and be able to do that at 40 years old is freaking awesome, man. Just incredible. Yeah.
There are numbers that, if you told me when I started lifting that I would, my goal, I'll never forget the first time I cleaned 130 kilos. It was like the coolest thing that had ever happened to me.
Yeah.
And when I snatched 100, I thought that was like the pinnacle. My first meet, I went 100, 135. Wow. And I thought, man, I saw guys snatching 115, and I was like, holy crap, that guy's got to be the best lifter in the whole world, and I can't believe it. And, looking back, if you told me that I'd be able to do what I could do today, I'd laugh at you. Yeah,
and you just 312 was your total at Nationals in 2021, right?
Nationals in 2021 was 307.
307.
I went 316 and 19. I fit a 319 in the gym. Nationals was super, super fun. I had a good time with, all the other lifters and stuff. wasn't my best meet. I was kind of bummed out about the numbers. I was super pumped about the results, but the numbers were a little low for me.
Yeah, 319 is awesome, man. That's you definitely that's why you're on this podcast and motivating, and this is definitely going to fire some folks up for sure, man. Big time.
I hope so.
Yep. You and me talked about this in the training hall before you went on the stage on Saturday. I think we trained together on Friday, but training environment, training by yourself and training with partners or a team. I know you said you've got several friends that come in town and live with you and stuff like that. What's the major benefit for you training with other people, other training partners?
So I've always been a training partner guy. Even when I did like my bodybuilding stuff, my wrestling coach ended up being my best friend after. We've trained together for 100 years. But for me, it's super hard for me to have a really heavy session without my training partners. I can do it, it's you can always get in the basement and grind it out.
Yeah.
But for me, I actively seek out training partners. So I have my club that trains with me. There's a handful of my lifters that train with me. And that's just the coolest thing ever,
Yeah.
But I also seek out, like Travis Cooper, comes out and trains with me. David Ether from Providence Barbell comes out and trains with me. I just reached out to a couple more people.
Great.
I love having people in the gym. Like, if you're the strongest guy in your gym, you kind of got to look around, right?
Absolutely.
You got to find somebody to push you and lift those big numbers with you. So, between my lifters who train with me that give me motivation, we're always cheering, we're always videoing each other and having a good time, and then I can get some outside lifters to come in once or twice a week and train. It's just that's unparalleled how much you can do with a good set of training partners.
Great advice, man. I think anyone that's listening to this can hear that, because there's so many people who train in their garage by themselves. You said it, grind it out in the basement when you got to go solo. You've got to have a winning coach or winning mentality, a winning weightlifter. There's going to be sessions you got to do this stuff by yourself, and you're going to have to try to expect excellence from yourself as well when you're doing it by yourself. And then, hey, when you've got a chance to train with other people, the level, of excellence rises, right? So at that point, you're sharing knowledge, you're pushing each other. You might have a spotter or two, or vice versa. It might be somebody might push you to get one or two more kilos on something that you typically don't do. And, to get that linear progression, when you got someone else to help you, get that extra 5 kilos, even on something small as a snatch deadlift, man, it goes a long, long way in developing weightlifters, man. That's awesome advice. I want to switch gears and go into, since we're on training environments, you and me have got to see this firsthand, camaraderie and sportsmanship in weightlifting. I just want to share a story with everyone real quick. You're competing against one of my weightlifters on Saturday. On Thursday, Friday, we meet in the training hall and we train together. Right? How many people do that in other sports? Very small, right? Who would even think about that? That is sportsmanship at its highest level, right? Just incredible stuff. And then on Sunday, you're coaching somebody that I'm competing against, and you're cheering me on. I'm cheering on your lifter. We're sharing support. We're sharing love. It's been a tough year for a lot of people, and for folks to see that camaraderie and that sportsmanship is, can't speak of it highly enough. But everyone might, somebody might have a bad day. There's one thing that you could say that could change their day, change their life, and that's one thing that I tip my cap to you for, Jared, is to see you, literally on Thursday, Friday, training with people that you're going to compete against. And then vice versa out there when you're coaching your athletes, we're cheering each other on, sharing some tips, just having a really, really good time with it. And what does camaraderie and sportsmanship mean to you in weightlifting?
It's huge. My first big meet, I went to Masters Nationals, I forget, maybe like 18 or 16, I think it was. And it was not a great experience for me. The people in the back were not friendly, and I actually had a coach at one point lean on my weights while his lifter went, so I couldn't warm up in the back. Like just stuff that's way off base for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not having that. I'm not living like this. I'm not going to be in the back and act like a bunch of gorillas and pound your chest and stuff. It's a hard enough sport. Everybody trains incredibly hard to compete in this sport. there's no point in having a grudge. You want to put your headphones in and go in the corner and lift. That's fine. I'm not going to bug you.
Yeah.
But weightlifting, we travel together. We, like you and I have trained together, I think every year since 2018 in the training hall.
Yeah.
So when I see people, and again, I value training with other people a lot. So when I have the opportunity to meet up with other weightlifters and train with you guys and talk shop, and we have lives too. We're in our 30s and 40s. Like, hey, how are their kids? How's the gym? How we're business owners and all this stuff. So
absolutely.
The thing is, at the end of the day, if you can beat somebody, you can beat them, right? If you can't, you can't. And there's no need for anyone to have a bad day in the back, right? And like when I'm warming up, I'm talking to everybody. I'm like, I meet people in the back. I love talking to them. I love kind of going through it, and I'll cheer for the guy that's going against me. I don't care, because at the end of the day, if he beats me, he beats me, right? I'm not going to hate this guy. This guy's my friend. We've trained together. We follow each other on Instagram. It's a big part of it is making friends, and that might sound silly to some people, but I like going to meets and knowing everybody in the back. Oh, hey Don, hey, just knowing everyone.
Love it, man. Yeah, it's way more than just lifting a barbell.
Yep.
And then, when it comes down to competing against each other in camaraderie, it's your barbell, it's your lift. That other athlete shouldn't have any effect on what you're doing to that barbell. And then, it's, you block everything out. And I'll quote you on this one, man. It's okay for someone to get super intense for that 2-hour window that they're competing. Outside of that, how hard is it to be kind, to be friendly, to be supportive, and to see you do that at the top. We're talking world champion here, is being all of those things to all his other competitors, man. That is something you should be extremely proud of, and just happy to see it in our sport, and happy to be a part of your team, be in your corner, man, and cheer you on. And it's incredible stuff. And then next one, what's next? What's on your goal list, man? So in 2021, what else you got going on, and what are you looking forward to?
There's a couple. So the big one locally, I'm the New England local weightlifting committee, so that's my LWC is New England, and I hold, I think, 9 records right now between all the masters divisions and weight classes. I would love to get into the New England Weightlifting Hall of Fame. I think that would be cool, as far as local stuff goes. I know you have to win 10 national championships to get into the Masters Hall of Fame, so that's a goal.
Wow.
4 down, right? And you also get points for Masters, Worlds, and Pan Ams and stuff. So I don't know what my point total is, but it's creeping on 50, 60. So that's a long-term goal. And then the short-term goal is to break the world records at Pan Ams, right? So
awesome.
It has to be an international competition and drug tested to break a world record.
Yeah.
So right now, 2020 Worlds, I actually have, or 2021, sorry, I have a guy in my weight class. I haven't lost a Masters competition since 2016.
Yeah.
And that was to this guy, right? He took first, I took second. And I haven't seen him since, because he's the weight class below me. He bumped up. So
here we go.
This is the big one. This is the big time.
Yes,
this guy's a monster. So I'm hoping to, repeat in 2021. But this guy does not want to give it to me. So it's going to be a lot of hard work.
Yep.
We'll see if I can get it.
What country is he from?
France.
Awesome, man. Awesome. That is, you're going to have a whole bunch of folks listening to this podcast cheering you on, man. That's for sure. That is
I
for
hope
sure.
So.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Yeah, so you want to talk about next goals and what you're looking forward to, man. You got it. You got your target, right?
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, you're in Olympic weightlifting, you get 6 shots. Don't aim one over here. Go straight at it, baby. Go straight for it, man, and you know exactly what you're doing and what you want to do, man. And that's that's inspiration just to hear from, even on my end, hearing somebody talk about, hey, this is my goal, this is what I want, here's the target, I'm going to go get it, go whatever it takes to go make that happen. And you're not afraid to put into work. The process is everything. That grind of going through that process is what I'm addicted to, man. It sounds like you're on the same page.
Yeah, it's funny. My intensity is in training. That's why, like you said, when you lift for that 2 hours at a meet, you can be intense. And my intensity when I train is pretty high. I get super pumped when I do lifts, and I think that's a big part of why I am so friendly, because I know how hard it is for everybody, and I know how hard it is for me. So like you said, you set your goals, you work hard for it, and everyone else is doing the same thing, right? Everyone's got that goal. Everyone's going for the same prize, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's awesome stuff. Out of all the records you set, which one means the most to you?
Well, the most memorable one is definitely, it sounds silly, but my first New England record.
Yeah.
I had to PR to hit it. It was like, I think it was like a 110 snatch or something like that.
Yeah.
I had just become a master, and I'd never snatched 110 before, and I hit it on my second attempt, so I was, couldn't believe I did it. And then since then, that I think that was the first one, so it was super important to me. Every single national record for me is just awesome. I mean, I don't really know how else to explain it. Every time I can set a record, for me, it's about kind of like a legacy. I like my gym to know that we did. And I'm 40. I'm gonna have kids pretty quick here.
Yeah.
And I always tell my wife and my friends, I'm like, man, I just want my kids to be proud of me. I want them to see like newspaper articles and see these record certificates and all that. And I just want, because by the time I have kids, I'll be old.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be lifting what I'm lifting. So every little piece, every record, every championship, that's just trying to set a legacy, even for my nephews and my nieces. And I have great nephews now.
Yeah.
Just to kind of, they'll know, hey, this is in the blood, this is our sport, and we can get into it and try to be like this.
Yeah, that's incredible, man. That's incredible stuff right there. I know before we started recording, I shared, my national record when I hit 35. That one's for my dad. But, I lift now for my son. He's 6 years old, so he can, the old man can sit there and tell him these stories. So whenever he hits 18, 19 and he's not believing this stuff, hopefully we have a lot of the stuff recorded so he can see it. But he's 6 years old, and he's going to do his first weightlifting meet April 17th. So he's got like 3 weeks, man. So pretty pumped up about that. So I got my six-year-old doing his first weightlifting meet, and right now I just plan on him taking 2 attempts at snatch and 2 attempts at clean and jerk, and then getting him off the platform, man. So pretty cool, pretty neat. Yeah, so we'll switch gears. I just want to, that was a lot of information right there. Anyone that's interested in the sport of weightlifting or, looking for some motivation, I think we just gave it to them for sure, man. This last 20 minutes has been something special. We'll kick it into a different gear, talk about a little bit of fun stuff. We'll even do a 60-second rapid favorite question stuff. But I know what I did for Deload week after nationals. I want to hear what you did for Deload week. What you did for your mind, your body, what you did for training. So what did last week look like for you?
So as far as the mind stuff goes, the second that last bar hit the floor, I started getting nervous about Worlds.
Gotcha.
So immediately my stomach starts churning, and I'm looking at the next meet. We drove 20 hours to get to nationals. There's a travel ban in Rhode Island, so if we flew, I would have had to quarantine. And I can't quarantine. I can't close down the gym. So we drove 20 hours down. I trained with you guys, and then I competed. And then I drove the 20 hours back, obviously. And I think that was Monday. And I just kind of messaged my coach, Will Fleming. Yeah. And I was like, hey, this week, can I just train by feel? And he was like, absolutely. The new program starts today. But last week I went in, I snatched 130 a few times. I didn't squat at all. I was like, then my legs have a break. I've been squatting 3 days a week for a year. And then I hit some light cleans, some jerks, but mostly I just worked on my snatch a lot. And for me, I think I worked out 3 times this week, and all stayed pretty light, and just gave my body a little bit of time to recover.
Perfect.
And, deloads for me, I don't generally deload often. We'll do usually a heavy complex, right? So almost every day I do a heavy complex before I do my squats and my pulls and stuff.
Yeah.
So I have the opportunity where if I'm not feeling great, I can almost deload myself and make that heavy complex as heavy for the day.
Yeah.
And I try to save some really heavy days for when I have people come out. And I like that opportunity too. It's not written in stone like, hey, today's 3 sets of 2 is 70%. That's great, and I love that too. But I like having the opportunity to say, hey, we're going for heavy complex for today.
Perfect.
Right? And if you have training partners coming in, you can kind of go for it. And if you're tired and you stayed up late or you tweaked your arm or whatever, you can, hit that 70%.
Perfect, man. That's great advice. My deload looked very similar, man. I went gym 3 times. I did a heavy deadlift. Took 5 attempts. I strict pressed. I snatched once. I clean and jerked once. Same thing. I didn't do any percentage squats or nothing like that. I got on the belt squat machine, did some leg curls. That was it. Checked the box and moved on. You know what I mean? So pretty neat information, and very similar when it comes down to, we do this year round. It takes years to get strong. So I really don't have, time and opportunity for a full-blown deload week where I'm not doing anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
At your level, you really can't turn it off. You know what I mean? We always talk about, being capable at 90% all the time. You know what I mean? So really neat stuff, man. So let's have a little fun. We'll do this. We'll do the 60-second rapid questions. Just fun. They can be one answer. They can be something really short, really, really fast. And we'll just have a little bit of fun with this. All right, so we'll go with the first one. Waffles or pancakes?
Pancakes.
Awesome. Favorite, post-workout nutrition meal on a training day?
I usually go protein and gummy bears.
Gummy bears, I like it. That's a good one.
Protein, bacon, gummy bears.
Nice. All right. Favorite cheat meal?
Ramen and grilled cheese all day.
Got it, man. That's a good one. Favorite training bar that you typically use?
I use a Alico comp bar.
Nice. All right. So, this will be an easy one then. Rogue Fitness or Alico weightlifting equipment?
Alico, as much as possible.
Yeah. You get it. The seniors are using a whole bunch of Rogue equipment. The masters, we still got Alicos, and the Olympics are using Alico, but I'm pretty sure the seniors with Phil have some kind of contract with Rogue Fitness right now. Snatch or clean and jerk?
Snatch.
Great. Deadlift or squat?
Squat.
Got it. Favorite workout music? What's your jam? What's your go-to song?
5-Finger Death Punch, The Bleeding.
Yes. That's a good one.
It's acoustic too, so it's kind of slow. It's a weird song to get pumped up to. But
that is freaking awesome, man. I love that. CrossFit or triathlons?
CrossFit.
Okay, great. Yeah, I've dabbled with the triathlon stuff. I did that for a couple of years. It's only 3 movements, man. I got bored with it. That's pretty neat. Yeah, man, that's all I got on the 60-second rapid questions. I like the pancakes. I love the gummy bears. That's a good one, man. It's a ton of fun. And same thing with the Alico barbell. If anyone's listening to this and they're not, if they never lifted with a Alico barbell, whatever it takes, save up that money to get that Alico barbell. It less vibration, super smooth. The spin on those barbells, no one else can duplicate it. I think Rogue's been trying to, but they still haven't got it quite right yet. But
yeah, we have 5 Alicos at the gym, and people fight for them.
Wow,
they're great bars.
Fantastic, man. Well, Jared, that'll wrap it up, man. I think thank you for your 30 minutes of time. I know you're super, super busy. Appreciate all the knowledge, all the experience that you shared with us. Best of luck with you with the world records and Pan Ams. When's that take place?
That's in August.
Okay, August 2021, and that's down in Orlando again, correct?
Yeah, which is great for me, Once these travel bans come off, we can maybe go to Disney too, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, we'll be cheering for you. Thank you for your time, man. We'll talk to you soon, man. Thanks, you.
Man.
Yes, sir.